No record remains of the terrible war that followed, but its effects are still felt today. It completely rearranged the known flow of magical ley energy across Exandria. Be wary, adventurers, for the dreadful Calamity is oft a taboo conversation topic for the inhabitants of Tal'Dorei. But stay and listen, as we will try to gather the records that we can. Most of the scrolls and tomes are now lost to time or taken away and sealed beyond the reach of mortals. The Calamity, the third age of Exandria, came at the very tail end of the Age of Arcanum, and will forever be remembered by the battles of gods and mortals. The second great war against the betrayer gods is what defined the Calamity and gave it its name. Soon after, the Lords of Darkness lost the Battle of Vasselheim, they regrouped and battle was joined yet again. The other cities throughout Exandria were not spared as the Dawn City. The Dark Ones, in their wrath, reduced most of their major settlements to ash, leaving no survivors. Exandria became a place of fear, and some of the arcane scholars suggested a retreat to other planes of existence, leaving Exandria to its ill fate. Some listened and fled, while others stayed and battled for their home. It is said that 2/3 of the mortal population either fled or was killed in the war, and Vasselheim became the last standing bastion of civilization once again. The Prime Deities, although outnumbered by the Lords of Darkness, had a plan to turn the tides, to chain Tarizdun, the deity of death and trickery, to the depths of the lower planes. It took the full might of the deities Pelor, Avandra, and Ayun to complete the rites of prime banishment, a ritual used to exile a god from a material plane. Thus, the mad god was defeated, but at a price. During their battle, Ayun, the knowing mistress, took a near-fatal blow from which she is still recovering. Since the Calamity, this ritual was used only once more. With the chain oblivion gone from this material plane, the rest of the betrayer gods fell, each one banished once again to their realms of deception and hate, and their dark kingdom of Gordranas on Exandria was shattered. The world entered a period of recovery, but the fear of a possible return of the Lords of Darkness lingered. The Prime Deities blamed themselves for everything that came upon their children, and that their involvement in the lives of mortals caused much of the devastation in Exandria. They knew that while a path to divine realms exists, so could the devils and demons find a way to Exandria yet again. They decided to leave their children to themselves, to renew a sundered world beyond the gates of Vasselheim, this time without their explicit aid. The Prime Deities returned to their own planes of existence, dragging with them the remaining devils and demons. They sealed the pathways to other planes by constructing a divine gate, a barrier which would prevent any god from physically crossing over into a mortal realm again. Thus, the gods stepped beyond the gate and left this material plane, never to be seen again, or at least that's what we are told. Arcane scholars call it the Second Spark, while the most devoted of us call this event the Penance. You and I may know it as the Divergence, and with this final divine act, the Age of Arcanum has come to an end. For some, this is the end of the story. For others, it's only the beginning. Much time has passed since the closing of the gate, and the world has been reborn yet again. The gods, good and evil, although now physically absent, still hear the prayers of their followers. The most devout and zealous of them are sometimes granted knowledge and power for their fate. Cities sprung up once again, and new kingdoms and cultures rose on the ruins of the old world. The children had a new path now, one that they would traverse themselves without the guidance of immortal beings, but it was their own path to make. Over time, their hearts filled with hope for a brighter future. New songs filled the air, and after an age of darkness, the people of Exandria were free to make their own choices and forge their own destiny. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. In the next few videos, I will address the history of the continent of Tal'Dorei itself, the Iron Rule of Warren Dressig, and the battles that followed. For Gravity Bits, this is Z. Cheers.